Hello everyone and welcome to our presentation on how to use quotation marks. This presentation will be done by Desmond Wade, Imara Sabido, and Holly Popper.
What is a quotation mark, also called quotes? Are punctuation marks used in pairs on various writing systems to set off direct speech, a quotation, or a phrase. The pair consists of an opening quotation mark and a closing quotation mark, which may or may not be the same character.
When do we use quotation marks? Quotation marks are used with direct quotes, titles of certain works, to imply alternate meanings and to write words as words. The quoted text is capitalized if you're quoting a complete sentence and not capitalized if you're quoting a fragment. Commas and periods always go inside the quotation marks in American English. Dashes, colons, and semicolons almost always go outside the quotation marks. Question marks and exclamation marks sometimes go inside, sometimes stay outside. In American English, single quotation marks are used for quotes within quotes.
Rule 1. Quotation marks always come in pairs. Do not open a quotation and fail to close it at the end of the quoted material. Here we have an example. Henry said, "When is the assignment due?" As we can see in this example, the quote was opened, but it wasn't closed at the end. So these are common mistakes we should avoid while using quotation marks. Rule 2. Capitalize the first letter of a direct quote when the quoted material is a complete sentence. Example, Mr. Johnson, who was working in his field that morning, said, "The alien spaceship appeared right before my own two eyes." As we can see in this example, the sentence is a complete one, which in turn, the first letter of the direct quote must be capitalized.
Rule 3. Do not use capital letters when the quoted material is a fragment or only a piece of the original material's complete sentence. Example, although Mr. Johnson has seen odd happenings on the farm, he stated that the spaceship certainly takes the cake when it comes to unexplainable activity. In this example, certainly, the C in certainly is not capitalized, which is following rule number 3, stating, do not use capital letters when the quoted material is a fragment or only a piece of the original material's complete sentence. Rule 4. If a direct quotation is interrupted mid-sentence, do not capitalize the second part of the quotation. Example, I didn't see an actual alien being, Mr. Johnson said, but I sure wish I had. As you can see, the B in but isn't capitalized because it is a continuation of what exactly Mr. Johnson had said.
Okay guys, let's take a look at Rule 5. It's surprisingly new to me, so let's tune in. In all the examples that we went through before, let's note how the period or comma punctuation always come before the final quotation mark closes. It is important to realize that when you are using MLA or some other form of documentation, whether it is APA, etc., this punctuation rule may change. So Rule 5 states, when quoting text with a spelling or grammar error, you should transcribe the error exactly in your own text. So don't fix it for them. Leave it as is. However, also insert the term sick in italics directly after the mistake and enclose it in brackets. Sick is from the Latin and translates to thus, so, or just as that. The word tells the reader that your quote is an exact reproduction of what you found, and the error is not your own. So don't worry about it. They'll know that it's not your mistake. Let's look at an example here. It says, Mr. Johnson says of the experience, "It made me reconsider the existence of extraterrestrials." Sick. Notice how, let's look at this closely. So Mr. Johnson says of the experience, "It made me reconsider the existence of extraterrestrials," and they put that in quotes. It's at the beginning where it is and at the end of the statement. But let's look at the mistake. They put the ending quote at after the full stop there. So then that is wrong. That is clearly wrong, because it's supposed to be the full stop is supposed to be after the quotation mark, right? Because that would mean if they didn't put it there, then that would mean that the sentence is not finished, right? So the full stop has to go after the quotation, so that it indicates that the sentence is finished. But in this case, they put the end of the quote after the full stop, which is wrong. This means that the sentence is not even, it is not ending. So for you not to look bad in your paper that you made that mistake, you put SIC, right? Sick at the end in those little squared brackets to indicate that not my mistake, it's not your mistake, so your teacher won't say that, oh, you don't even know how to use quotation marks properly. No need to worry. We got your back. We show you how to use this. Rule number 5. Now let's take a look at rule 6. It states that quotations are most effective if you use them sparingly and keep them relatively short. Too many quotations in a research paper will get you accused of not producing original thought or material. They may also bore a reader who wants to know primarily what you have to say on the subject. So be sure to paraphrase in your essays and don't go quoting too much. And when you do quote, make them short. This is according to rule number 6.